Alright guys, so you're here for how to make viral thumbnails. Now, a lot of you guys make thumbnails, you think that, oh, this is going to blow up, this is going to do that, this is going to do that. But basically, I'm going to show you guys how to make thumbnails that will go viral, because I know a lot of you guys do not know what there needs to be done for a thumbnail to go viral, what you need to know before even making a thumbnail or thinking about making a thumbnail. So the first thing is no more than 2 to 3 words. If you add more words, people generally do not even care to read it because there's a lot of videos in the recommendation. So more than 2 to 3 words, people will slowly lose interest. So basically, the more words you add, the lower the click-through rate is going to be. If you can, just don't use any words. If you have to, I guess you can use like 1 to 2, maybe even 3 words. It's really important not to overload the thumbnail with like a bunch of text and stuff. So I'm going to show you guys, this is a little bit vague, but we're going to go on to how to make slime. So you can see this thumbnail right here at the top has no text. The second one has no text. The third one, no text. None of these have text. You can see here that's 1 word, and that's just for the thumbnail because she has Orbeez, and then she just shows that those are Orbeez inside, you can say. This one, a little bit of text, but doesn't distract people from reading the text. It shows it on the item. So you can see here that all these viral videos literally have no text, and that's really good because their click rate is super high from that. So the more words you add, the lower the click-through rate. The next thing you need to know that's super important, do not show more than a certain amount of things on the thumbnail. Don't overwhelm the viewer, because when the viewer scrolls, they're just going to keep scrolling and scrolling until something catches their eye. So let's go ahead, I searched up compilation. Let's just go on view count, and this one has 786 million views. Alright, so you can see here in this Fail Army video, all it shows is someone jumping, water, and then you can kind of see a cliff. So it's focused on only those certain things, and it's not with too much text, too much that, too much that. And I know you're probably looking, oh, what about this? This has a lot of text and it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but that's for kids. That has literally nothing to do with the content you guys are going to be posting, unless obviously you re-upload kids content. So you can clearly see these are really old videos. So let's just do this month. All right, so the top one, oddly satisfying all new compilation that will make your jaw drop. 20 million views in 2 weeks. And you can clearly see that the thumbnail matches with the title. Oddly satisfying. Now, eggs, people are interested just to see how they're satisfying, and the thumbnail in the back is really colorful. It really pops and stands out, and there's not too many things to focus on, not too distracting. And then the next one we have here is just a dog and a guy. You can just see the general idea. There's not too many things in the thumbnail. So do not show more than a certain amount of items in the thumbnail. I want to show you guys a bad example, but I think the videos that are ranking on here just have good thumbnails because they all have over 1 million views. But I'll show you a kind of, let's just say, bad thumbnail like this right here. There's just way too many things going on. If you saw that, it's just too many things. If they just removed silent food unpacking challenge, if they just removed all that and those little speaker things, if you just remove that and just maybe added silent food, you can maybe, because that's already in the title, they don't really need to do that, but they could have gotten more views if they just didn't add so many things in the thumbnail. And these are all big YouTubers, so that's why they have a lot of views, but they could have gotten more views if they just made the thumbnail simple and right to the point. So for compilations, that's going to be really good because it's supposed to only be focused on one thing that's in the title. The next one is going to be make them colorful. Try to add saturation. I'll be showing you guys a free program that you can use for making thumbnails. So if you focus on these things, make the thumbnail match to the title, make it focus on one thing, maybe add a little bit of text, make it colorful. Don't make it seem too fake because it depends on what audience you want to watch your videos. If you want to make it super colorful and happy, then obviously you're going to aim for a younger audience. But if you're making compilations, as long as you just make it colorful, not too much to the point where it's fake, because for compilations, a lot of people like realism and seeing something real. So you can see here, the thumbnail matches the title because of the most unexpected auditions ever. It doesn't reveal the video too much to the point where people already know what's going to happen or something like that, even though that still works, but you just get a little higher chance of getting more views if you have something that people would want to click on, because you don't see this often if you watch America's Got Talent, where they just get up and look at the audience, where it just seems like it's really unexpected, shocking, or something like that. Same thing with like all of these right here. You can see their reactions. They're shocked clearly. Same thing with this one. If you just make it real and it matches the title and thumbnail, then you're on your way to get a lot of views. So let's go ahead and make a thumbnail something like this. Ultimate Army Fails Compilation 2018 Funny Army Videos. Try not to laugh. You can see the thumbnail. It's focused on one thing where these two guys are grabbing this girl and she grabs, you know what, in the circle. And it makes people want to click on it because it circled it out and people notice it more than if it was uncircled. So let's just say that I'm making a shocking army video or shocking military, let's just say that. So even this one right here, you can see that this thumbnail really matches the title, Military Fails, but how we could have made it better is, let's go ahead and go onto my website where I make thumbnails. So Photopea, I'll have a link to it in this video. So it's super simple to make thumbnails on here. Let's click File, let's do New. I'm gonna restart. So you make the width 1920 by 1080, and then you click Create. Here we go, let's do that, and then you click Transform Controls, make sure it's checked, hold Shift. Let's go ahead and stretch it out. About here should be good. Let's actually make it a little smaller. For compilations, there's a little secret that I want to show you guys. So let's just make it something like this. Now I know this thumbnail is probably used a lot. Let's go ahead and check. 3 million views, 3.8, December 31st, 2017. So his channel is probably a lot smaller. He could have made the title a little bit better as well. But the thumbnail, you can just see how he could have made it better if you already know my tactics that I already talked about. So let's put it like this, and then turn off transform controls for now. If you want to make your video thumbnail more real and also clickbait, because when people see these black bars on the side, they automatically think that the video is real because it looks like it's recorded from a phone or something. It's not like professional, because when people see a high quality thumbnail, they automatically assume that it's professional. It really depends on your thumbnails or whatever you're trying to make. So even if you look at any compilation on YouTube, if you already know of any channels, they all seem super real. So adding these black bars, let me show you my friend that actually does these types of videos. You can see here, let's go on his channel. It works most of the time, but sometimes you just don't really need to add it. So you can see here, black bars, 19 million views, black bars, 15 million. And then obviously you still get views even if you make it full screen. But as you can see here, it's not like professional. In this video right here, he uploaded 1 year ago and still got that many views, because if you obviously look at videos that went viral before, you just retitle it, change the thumbnail a little bit, and it can go viral again. Let's add black bars, and then you see this little rectangle tool. It's super simple to use this app once you get used to it. So you just click on there, fill type at the top left, you can see it. So it overlaps the image. So what you're gonna do, these are your layers right here. You can control which layer goes on top of which one by just dragging it. And you can see that I just dragged it under, and now it doesn't cut off any of the image. To add it to the other side, to make it a little more simple, you duplicate layer. Once again, this is not super important to add. Click and hold and just drag it to the other side. And now you got pretty realistic looking thumbnail. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna click on the layer where the image is. Let's go ahead and change the colors of this thumbnail to make it more colorful, make it pop a little bit. You're gonna go on to image right here at the top, right by edit and layer, adjustments. You can do brightness and contrast if your thumbnail is a little dark. So this literally works for any thumbnail that you're making. You can make it a bit brighter so you can see before. It's a little dark, but if you turn up the brightness a little bit, it just stands out. And then same thing with contrast. Turn up the contrast, not too high, just a little bit. You can just see with your eye. It depends on the thumbnail really. So we're gonna go back on adjustments, and then we're gonna go on to vibrance. You just turn it up. It really depends on the thumbnail that you're making. I usually turn it up to like 40. You can do it all the way. It still looks colorful and stuff. I don't really do that because then it's like too colorful and it seems really photoshopped. So vibrance around 39, I'll keep it like that. And saturation, you're not gonna wanna turn this up too much, because if you do, it just becomes like orange a little bit. So I think around 23, around there should be fine. And now let's go ahead and add a circle. So what you're gonna do, simply just search up circle PNG. Now what PNG means is it's clear, so you don't have to edit it yourself. Let's go ahead and put a circle like right here where the action is happening, where the focus is, just to bring people there to see how weird his foot is shaped or whatever. Double click on the layer of it, and then go on to color overlay. And now you can see that it's red. And you can't really see it, it's not really that visible. So what you're gonna do is you click drop shadow, and it adds a little shadow. So the distance is how far the shadow is away. I usually keep that right at 0. And then it can either be multiply, it can be normal. For the blend mode, it doesn't really matter. And then for spread, I usually spread it a little bit more like this, so now you can see the circle more. Opacity is how much opacity is going on that layer. So usually at 50 you should be fine, maybe a little more. You can even do 100. You just have to lower the spread a little bit. So now you can see that there's a circle with the drop shadow, and you can clearly see the circle now. Everything's visible. So now you got a thumbnail. Really simple to do, really simple to make. So for compilations, you don't really need to focus on making the thumbnail super Photoshop. This is literally as simple as that, and you got a viral video. You can even maybe add some emojis, PNGs, like laughing emoji somewhere in the corner, but that really doesn't really do anything. So you click File to save, and then you export as JPEG right here, JPG. Click OK. And then quality, I just usually go to 100%, but make sure it's below 2 megabytes. So you can see right here, it's 1.4. So you should be good, but YouTube only lets you upload a thumbnail if it's below 2 megabytes. So always make sure it is. And if it's not, you just lower the quality a little bit, but I keep it at 100 because it usually doesn't go over 2 megabytes. So now you got your thumbnail right over here. Go ahead and add it to your video.